Ready, set, adventure! Welcome to Hikanuki World Tour and Day 2 in Singapore. We'll start the day in the infinity pool. Walk along the skywalk at Gardens by the Bay. We'll take in the beauty at the Flower Dome and the Cloud Forest. Then we'll check into our next hotel, the Fairmont. We'll sample the iconic Singapore Sling, visit a Hindu temple in Chinatown, and sample some food in a hawker market. Good morning from the Marina Bay Sands Resort in Singapore and from their Rooftop Infinity Pool. We'll be checking out of the hotel today, but we wanted to get a morning swim in at the magnificent Rooftop Infinity Pool. This is the world's largest rooftop infinity pool, and it offers spectacular views of the Singapore skyline. From your vantage point on the 57th floor, you'll see spectacular views of Singapore. Plus, there are plenty of places to lounge and relax. Just like the rest of the hotel, poolside service was fast, efficient, and friendly. We started the morning with the muesli, which was granola, fresh blueberries, Granny Smith apples, and honey, which topped vanilla yogurt. It cost 10 Singapore dollars, which was about $8 US. It was a great way to start the morning. After our light breakfast, it was time to pop in the water for a swim. Lounge chairs are all complimentary, including ones with canopies, and they also provide sunscreen in case you forgot yours. Bottled water is also provided so you can stay hydrated. It promised to be another beautiful day in Singapore for us. The pool is reserved exclusively for hotel guests, and you will have to present your hotel key. There is no option to get a day pass or the ability to bring any friends with you. As a hotel guest, this is appreciated as the pool never felt crowded and there were always places to sit. And while you can't swim the length of the pool, you can swim the width of the pool. On our stay in February, you did not have to reserve pool time, and you could stay as long or as little as you'd like. The pool was open from 6 in the morning until midnight, so there were plenty of opportunities to get to the pool. In addition to the kiddie pool, sections of the pool were indicated as family-friendly or adults only. It was hard to get enough of this beautiful pool, and everybody was taking as many pictures as they could to bring home the memories. If you have the chance, I definitely recommend staying at least one night at the Marina Bay Sands Resort. And on the other side of the building, you'll find the hot tubs and views of the harbor and Supertree garden below. Everything is so beautifully landscaped, you'll forget your 57 floors up in the sky. Below at Gardens of the Bay, we can see the Flower Dome and Cloud Forest. We'll be heading there soon. But first, one more quick dip into the hot tub. This busy shipping lane sees about 1,000 vessels every single day. Now we'll head to the Flower Dome. Because we're checking out of the hotel today, we dropped our luggage off and took the short walk to Gardens by the Bay. Besides the spacious rooms, amazing pool, and impeccable service, the location of the Marina Bay Sands Hotel puts you within easy walking distance of many of Singapore's most popular attractions. According to their website, Gardens by the Bay is a showpiece of horticulture and garden artistry that presents the plant kingdom in a whole new way, entertaining while educating visitors with plants seldom seen in this part of the world. There is no charge to walk around the gardens, but to see the Flower Dome, Cloud Forest, Sky Walkway, and Observatory, there is an additional charge. If you're not staying at the Marina Sands, you can take the train or the bus and get off at the Bayfront Station. From the train, bus, or from the hotel, you'll cross the Dragonfly Bridge. Once crossing the bridge, you'll be in Bay Central. This is a 3-kilometer walkway which will get you over to the Flower Dome. In 2024, this was named TripAdvisor's Travel Choice Best of the Best, 8th Best Attraction in the World, and Best in Asia. Among the paths and walkways and under the trees, look for various and interesting sculptures. This is a peaceful place offering a respite from the busy city. Of course you'll find a lion because Singapore means Lion City. On our visit, a ticket for both the Flower Dome and Cloud Forest was about $25. We started at the Flower Dome. This is the largest glass greenhouse in the world. It was a hot and humid day and we expected the greenhouse to be even hotter, but the greenhouse is kept at about 73 degrees Fahrenheit, which was a pleasant surprise on a hot day. The size, scope, and beauty of the greenhouse was amazing to behold. It's the size of 75 Olympic-sized swimming pools. It's covered with 3,332 glass panels, and it has a capacity of 1,000 people. The Flower Dome showcases plants, trees, and flowers from a diverse range of places. Specimens are pretty well marked, but you can also do an audio tour. Free guided tours are offered periodically throughout the day. Look for sculptures scattered within the displays. If you're getting tired, take a rest on one of the benches underneath the palm trees. The Flower Dome was open to the public in 2011. While one side of the dome is dedicated to the different gardens of the world, the other side features floral displays which change seasonally. We were here shortly after the Lunar New Year and prior to the Lantern Festival. We were astounded by how meticulously maintained the gardens were. Every specimen seemed perfect. This was by far the most immaculate garden we've ever visited. If you get hungry, this restaurant features flavors of the Mediterranean. Now enjoy some of the beautiful flowers that we saw on our visit. After a little over an hour, we were ready to leave the Flower Dome and go to Cloud Forest. There's a gift shop in between the two areas, so we stopped in and took a look. They had the usual souvenirs like caps and t-shirts, but they also had a lot of flower-themed things. We decided to stop back after the Cloud Forest so that we didn't have to carry a bag. We had pre-purchased a ticket for both Cloud Forest and Flower Dome, so we walked right over to the entrance. The Cloud Forest is home to one of the world's tallest indoor waterfalls. It will greet you immediately as you walk in. Let's take a look at the 35-meter tall waterfall. You can see it from the ground floor or one of the viewing platforms. You'll find over 72,000 plant species here. Like the Flower Dome, the temperature is controlled at about 73 degrees Fahrenheit, but the humidity is 80 to 90%. There are chilled water slabs within the walkways to keep it cool. As you ascend the walkways and ramps, you'll feel like you're climbing up a mountain. In addition to ramps, you'll find elevators, so this is an accessible place to visit. Aerial walkways offer unique views of both the plants and the outdoor scenery. At our visit, there was an installation of Orchid Haven, or, in my opinion, Orchid Heaven. Just like in the Flower Dome, each flower was perfect. There was an abundance of color and beauty. The orchid installation was provided by Thailand, Land of Smiles. Among the foliage and greenery, there are more than 1,000 orchids in the display. And these guys are helping keep watch. Here's another aerial walkway. It's hard to capture the scale of the Cloud Forest, but it was enormous. There were more than 60 different orchid species on display here. After our walk through Orchid Haven, we took the elevator to ascend even higher into the Cloud Forest. If you're a Disney World Jungle Cruise fan, you may recognize the eighth wonder of the world, the backside of water. And don't miss this blown glass masterpiece by Dale Chihuly. It's actually 9 feet tall with 97 individual glass pieces. Watch out for the carnivorous plants. Let's hope Seymour remembered to feed them. I'd say walking here was slightly more difficult than in the Flower Dome due to the sloping walkways. I do recommend trying to see both, and we spent about an hour and a half in each. Starting at 10 a.m., misting occurs every 2 hours. For an additional price, the Jurassic World Experience is coming at the end of May. It's not hard to imagine that this will feel like a truly authentic experience. Some of the plants here even date back to the Jurassic period. We enjoyed our visit to the Cloud Forest, and like the Flower Dome, we think it should be on everyone's Singapore to-do list. We stopped back in the gift shop to pick up a few floral souvenirs. And back outside, it was time to explore the Supertree Grove. We'd seen the Supertrees from above, from the Singapore Flyer and from the Skydeck Observatory, and now it was time to get a ground-level view. These man-made trees were inspired by mature trees in the rainforest. They're home to a large array of living plants. You can visit the Skyway, the Supertree Observatory, or both. We chose just the Skyway as we were running short on time. In all, there are 18 of these iconic structures. The walkway is 22 meters or about 72 feet above the ground and 128 meters long. Depending on how often you stop for pictures, it should only take you about 15 or 20 minutes to walk the path. This was one of the few things that I didn't think was worth the price of admission. We had done other things that provided much more spectacular views. I think the exception would be if you could time your visit to coincide with the nightly light show. This would probably give you a spectacular view, but I'm sure it's quite crowded too. And they do limit the number of people up on the platform. While the trees are interesting to look at, look closely and you'll see that they're a sustainable vertical garden. Seven of the trees are designed to harvest solar energy, so the super trees are more than just decorative. And now we'll take a quick walk along the Skyway. It was getting late in the afternoon and we had to transfer to the Fairmont Hotel, so we returned to the Marina Bay Sands to pick up our luggage. But then we remembered the lobby bakery and decided we needed to stop in there for a little treat. The biggest problem was trying to make a decision. From the sandwiches to the pastries, everything looked delicious. We settled on the raspberry tart with gold flecks and the chocolate croissant, and they were just as delicious as they were beautiful. We took a cab for the 8-minute drive over to the Fairmont Singapore, our second hotel. We chose this hotel so we could explore a different part of the city, and because it was much less expensive. The Fairmont is located across the street from the famous Raffles Hotel. We were greeted curbside, and once inside, the interior felt artistic and upscale. Check-in was fast and efficient, and all staff were friendly and helpful. Our room was in the North Tower on the 14th floor. We'll do a brief tour of the room now. For a more comprehensive look, we have another video comparing this hotel and the Marina Bay Sands. We're staying at the Fairmont for 3 nights. We chose their signature suite with 1 king bed and city view. The room was quite large and felt more like a studio apartment. The room was spacious and comfortable, but I did think some of it needed a little bit of a refresh. For example, the bedside lamps felt a little dated, but I do always appreciate having a bedside table on each side of the bed. There was complimentary coffee and a tea kettle provided, as well as snacks for purchase, and a fully stocked fridge with items for purchase. There was a roomy closet with robes and a safe, as well as a hairdryer. The bathroom did feel like it had been recently refreshed. It was quite large and with plenty of storage space. It had both a bathtub and a shower stall. The shower had a rain shower fixture as well as a handheld fixture. Shampoo, conditioner, and shower gel were provided, as well as some additional amenities in case you forgot something. Our room had a city view and it was overlooking the Raffles Hotel. We had a small Juliet-style balcony with no furniture, but you could stand outside and you could get some fresh air. Although not as dramatic as the infinity rooftop pool at Marina Bay Sands, the Fairmont does have two nice pools. One is a kiddie pool and one is great for swimming laps. Poolside cabanas are also available to rent. Kids and adults alike will enjoy the pools. And there are also tennis courts available. So this hotel is a great place for recreation. And there's also plenty of places to relax, such as the bar. The hotel is also adjacent to a shopping mall with easy access to the MRT station. We headed outside and across the street to the iconic Raffles Hotel. The Raffles Hotel is renowned for its elegance and attentive service. It's also the birthplace of the legendary national drink, the Singapore Sling. And that's why we're going to visit. The Singapore Sling was first mixed in 1915 at the Long Bar of the Raffles Hotel. Because at that time it was socially unacceptable for women to drink, the bartender intentionally made a pink drink so that it resembled fruit juice. This is another popular attraction in Singapore, so expect to wait a little bit in line. We waited in this line for about 20 minutes before we got our seat at the bar. Room rates here are some of the highest in Singapore. Expect to pay at least $750 for a room. But of course, anyone can stop in at the Long Bar to enjoy a Singapore Sling. Inside the bar, you'll find tables and chairs, as well as a bar and a spiral staircase leading to the second floor. And decor is reminiscent of the 1920s colonial era. The bar is also known for its tradition of serving peanuts in the shell. Patrons are allowed and even encouraged to throw the shells on the floor. This is probably the only place in Singapore where making a mess is encouraged. Even though there may be a line, turnover is quick, and when you see the drink prices, you'll understand why. You do receive all the monkey nuts you can eat for free. They were very tiny little nuts and honestly not that flavorful. But it's part of the tradition, so you have to indulge. So what's in a Singapore Sling? It's a gin drink made with pineapple and lime juices, bitters, curacao, Benedictine, grenadine, and cherry liqueur. To me, it tasted similar to a Mai Tai. Luckily, I wasn't really a fan, as the drink cost around $30. We did have a coupon, however, and got the drink for about $20, which was still a bit pricey. They use a special machine to blend the drinks perfectly. After that, we headed back across the street and we're going to take our first ride on the MRT. Because most people do not have a vehicle in Singapore, they rely on public transportation. It's fast, efficient, safe, clean, and inexpensive. And all you need to use it is a tappable credit card. Tap your credit card as you enter the station and tap as you leave. You can also buy a prepaid card, but you won't get a refund for anything you don't use. The maps of the line inside the cars make it easy to see where you are and where you're going. As expected, the stations are all clean, safe, and well maintained. You'll also find signs indicating which exit to take so that you're near to your destination. Tonight we're going to check out Chinatown. Chinatown is another must-see on a Singapore visit. It's known for its rich history, colorful streets, and diverse cuisine. After exploring Chinatown, we headed to the Maxwell Food Center. This is considered to be one of the most authentic local food centers in Singapore. And these food centers are referred to as hawker centers. You'll find food stall after food stall with many diverse offerings. It can be a bit overwhelming, but look for the stall with the longest line and there you'll find the best food. You'll find tables and chairs down the center, and be prepared to share your table with other people. You'll also want to learn how to chope. Because there's limited seating, you want to grab a seat when you see it. But you might not have your food yet. Take an insignificant item that you may have on you, such as a bottle of soda, or a pen, or even a chopstick. Place it on the table to save your seat. And believe it or not, the Singaporeans will respect this and not take that place. We were anxious to try the Hainanese chicken and rice. There was a long line here, so we knew it had to be good. The man was here by himself, and he was working meticulously. Most people speak English here, but you can always resort to the point-at-the-picture order method. The Hainanese chicken is a classic in Singapore. It was one of our favorites, as we prefer white meat chicken to dark meat. It's a relatively mild and simple dish, but you can zing it up with the different sauces. We chose the dark soy sauce and chili sauce to go with our chicken. We did have to wait about a half hour, but it was definitely worth it. The chicken was poached perfectly, and the sauces really gave a lot of flavor. We gave this a 4.5 shaka rating, both because of the taste of the meat and because of the environment. And to further enhance the experience, we topped it off with a Chong classic beer. Chong means elephant in Thai. It's a cool, crisp, and refreshing beer and perfect in a hot climate. And that's how we spent our evening in Chinatown. Then we hopped back on the MRT to make our way back to Boat Quay. We saw this fresh squeezed orange juice vending machine, which we thought was interesting. We were in Boat Quay the night before, but now it was Friday night and we wanted to see what the difference would be. And there were many more people out and about tonight. The riverfront seems to be a very popular gathering place, and for good reason. It was another perfect night in Singapore, and we stopped by the river for a beer. Anyone want to stop at Ikigai? Let's continue our walk along the river. From Boat Quay, we headed out through the underpass. Tonight there was a musician performing. We emerged from the underpass and found ourselves at McDonald's. Just for fun, we always like to try the double cheeseburger in different international locations. The fries were good, and the cheeseburger was pretty good, but Taiwan still holds the title of the best international cheeseburger. While there's not too many cars around, the ones we saw tended to be high-end. We skipped Molly Malone's for tonight and walked down the street a bit. There was a lot more activity tonight.
Wow, you're good. He's good. He's good. You're both good.
After our night out, we returned to the hotel and the Antidote Bar on the lobby floor. There was a much more relaxed vibe here in this lounge. Our timing was a little off as we got there right at last call, but we had time for a Manhattan before we called it a night. And that was how we spent our second day in Singapore. There's so much to see and do here. We're ready for another busy day tomorrow. Thanks for joining us at Hikanuki World Tour and Day 2 on our trip to Singapore. Our travel wisdom today is from Dan Buettner. Singapore is the happiest place in Asia. Don't forget to subscribe to Hikanuki World Tour and follow us on Instagram. Hit that notification bell and you'll be alerted when new videos are dropped.